tell them.
She delivered countless presentations on earthquakes for adults and children all across the state. In 2013, she was recognized with the Governor's Award for Excellence for Outstanding Public Service. Ladies and gentlemen, Marilyn Hawk.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Yes? Good morning. My name is Marilyn, and I am known as the Earthquake Lady. It says so on my business card. I was given that name 22 years ago by the Red Hills Middle School in Richfield, Utah. I travel all over the state giving preparedness presentations for schools, colleges, all types of businesses, senior daycare centers, hospitals, fire departments, churches, you name it. I've been there. Every year I go down to Richfield and they always announce the Earthquake Lady's coming, so that's who I really am. I started working for the Department of Public Safety, Division of Emergency Management, 22 years as a secretary. In order to graduate, we had to stand up and talk about any disasters, tornado, flood, earthquake. Me being the new girl on the block at that time, I did not know what to talk about. I did not know what the office was about. I didn't know everybody in the office, and I did not know what preparedness was. Serious. I do have Band-Aids peroxide in the medicine cabinet. I do have food storage, water storage, but I did not have emergency kits put together like you see a few up here. So that means my children grew up all these years without an emergency backpack. So think about that. By watching videos, listening to people's experience with disasters, and we see it on the news all the time. Back east, they have their high wind, flood, tornadoes, foreign countries, tsunamis, major earthquakes, California with all their earthquakes. The states all around Utah has wildfires. Where Utah, we don't have tornadoes. We don't have earthquakes. And we don't have power outages. Are we listening? Okay, I know it's too early. All right, yes, we do have all of the above. Expect tornadoes in the future in our state. There will be a warning if a tornado will touch down, so you will have time to prep and take cover. Earthquake, no warning, but we can be prepared before an earthquake occurs, know what to do during an earthquake, and things what we need to do after an earthquake. And that is why I'm here today, to remind you what to do when this ground starts moving like this way, this way, and severely. It is suggested not to panic, run out of a building, run into a building during ground shaking. Gravity will greet you. You have chimney bricks, roof tiles, windows above could shatter, fall, and hurt you as you're leaving, entering a building. It is suggested, stay where you are, take cover. I will tell you the safe areas, whether you're home, at work, any type of building, how to protect yourself during ground shaking. I'll also show you how you can protect yourself if you are shopping. Yes, this will protect you at the grocery store. Not this one, the bigger one. Yeah. And what to do if you're driving. Utah is vulnerable. People don't know what to do. They panic, and what do? They run. Where are you going? It's shaking all over. So it's suggested, stay where you are, cover your head. How many of you experienced an earthquake? Quite a few of you. So you know what it has done, what it will do. No matter how severe, how mild the shaking is, it's frightening. We're not used to the ground moving, walls, chandeliers swaying, things falling. You will experience an upset stomach. You will definitely feel dizzy. That is why it is suggested, stay where you are, cover your head, especially in public buildings, ceiling tiles, light fixtures. These will definitely loosen, fall, and hurt you. So don't be the curious cat and walk around during the shaking, because things above, around could fall and hurt you. Train your brain what you would do no matter where you are, what you are doing, how you would protect yourself. How many of you, by chance, carry a Band-Aid in your purse or wallet? A few of you, good. Keep it up. The rest of you can bleed. That's how ready I was. I did not carry a Band-Aid in my purse. I do now. I will tell you at the end of the presentation why I'm asking you this question. All right, here we go. The safe areas, whether you're home, at work, any type of building, how to protect yourself. Your inside solid wall, solid corner is a safe place to take cover. Most hallways are located in the center part of the home. That is the center solid wall. Go against the wall, squat down, cover your head, especially to keep from ceiling tiles, light fixtures from falling on you. Your outside window walls are weak. They may collapse, so you do not want to go near window walls. If it's an outside wall with no windows, don't go near that wall. Go to center solid and a solid corner. If you're in an area with windows and the ground starts shaking, turn your back towards the glass. Let that glass shatter this way and not this way. Door frames is a safe place to take cover. You can brace yourself in a door frame like this way, any which way to keep yourself in that door frame. Watch the door itself so it does not slam, hit you in the face, pinch your fingers. Bathroom, closet, hallway is a safe place to take cover. Watch your public hallways. They have statues, plants, glass showcase display windows, heavy hanging frame pictures. So be aware of your surroundings so things do not fall and hurt you. At home, you, your spouse, children, go in each room at home, upstairs, main floor, basement, and talk about the safe areas. Mom can be in the kitchen cooking, Dad's outside, the kids are watching TV, and we're getting hit with this major earthquake. You may not be able to get to one another. That's how severe the shaking could be. So talk about the safe areas in each room. What walls, door frame, furniture. There's chairs, tables. At your place of business, you have desks, counters, conference tables. You have a lot of options, a lot of areas to protect yourself. Train your brain. Because the more you think about what you would do, the more you remember when this happens. You know, we're all human. And we all panic, and we all run, we all cry, scream, we get scared. So train your brain because by doing all those things, being scared, running, you will put yourself into harm's way. And you know, the earth shaking is seconds, and a few seconds can do a lot of harm. So know where you're at, your areas, where you sit, how you would protect yourself. You can get underneath your desk and don't get hurt. I will show you things what you can do at home to keep furniture from falling, things falling off the shelves, so you don't get hurt and the little ones. Okay, yes, sir.
What do you think of Dr. Koop's magical triangle of life during the earthquake?
And say that again.
The triangle of life.
Oh.
Dr. Koop.
Yes. Now, how many of you heard of the Triangle of Life? Okay, a few of you in here. This document has been floating around the internet for many years. When I read this document, I thought, gosh, I'm out here telling everybody to get under table, chairs, desk to protect themselves. The triangle of life, what it is saying, not to get under the table. It's saying to get on the outside of the table, lower than the table. But there's to a certain level, triangle of life makes sense, but it's not an accurate way to protect yourself. So, who's to say ceiling tiles, light fixtures will hit the table and not you right here? And so I talked to my superiors. We called FEMA, American Red Cross, Board of Education. Whoops, what did I do here? I lost my ear. We made sure what we are addressing out in public is correct. Utah is still honoring the drop, cover, hold method. We are still teaching our school students to get under desk, chairs, hold on to the legs, because as the floor is moving, the table, chairs will rattle away from you. So hold on, put your head underneath. You can't get your whole body underneath a chair, but protect your head. Ceiling tiles, light fixtures could hurt you severely. So it's up to you. You determine where you are, what you're doing, how you would protect yourself. Because everybody thinks differently. Everybody believes differently. So if you believe in the triangle of life, then that works for you. But I'm just, the reason why and I'm glad you brought that up. I explained that because our school students will come home and show mom and dad and grandparents the drop, cover, hold method. So that's what we're still teaching our kids. Okay, if you happen to be outside, tell the children about this. And we're having this major earthquake. Stay outside. Stay away from overhead wires, trees, buildings, fences, signs, light poles. Just get out in the open, squat down, because the shaking could bring one knee up, the other knee down. It will definitely knock you down. Write it out. Afterwards, the kids can yell, "Mom, Dad, I'm out here." They'll let the kids know if it's safe to come into the house. So all of you should have a family emergency plan. What you would do if you're home and the ground starts shaking, if you're outside, what you would do if you're separated. So in your packet, you are receiving a family community or communication plan. And my iPhone has a security code password. So nobody can get into my phone to call my daughter. But there's a number you can call for emergency. So anyway, I have a hard copy of this in my purse to call my daughter or my out-of-state contact person, okay? So read the information that's in your bags. You know what? And I'm guilty too. When I go to conferences and we collect all these brochures and papers, books, and we just seem to put it down, tuck it away. But do read. If you get a chance, read this information and have more knowledge why Utah has earthquakes. Did you know Utah has over 700 earthquakes per year? And you're thinking, when? They're so small, you may not feel them. A lot of people do, but you may not. And so, but we get the records from the seismic station up at the university. So yes, we do have earthquakes. Utah has everything. You know, we take for granted that we see these things happen on the news, and we take for granted that it's not going to happen to us. You know what? Everything does happen in Utah. It just hasn't happened on your street. So be more prepared than you think you are, okay? And this looks overwhelming up here, but it's not. I'll explain that in a minute. But right now, we're still protecting ourselves from the earthquake. Okay, any questions, whether you're home, at work, any type of building? In fact, a lot of the UDOT building, I can't remember, I've been there so many times, if you have pillars throughout the building. Do you? Do you have pillars? Yes, I see. Okay, pillars is a good place to take cover. If you happen to be walking out in the hallway and the ground starts shaking, then go to the pillar, because I know you're surrounded with glass. Go to the pillar, hug it, and pray a lot. So serious, because the shaking's only seconds, but at the moment it seems forever. So yes, don't get hurt. And this gentleman here, you can't get up and run and get under a chair. So does your chair have a brake? You can put your brake on and cover your head. Don't be looking around, because things above could fall and hurt you. So train your brain, what you would do. Talk to your family, your children about these things too, so they don't get hurt. Because you can't just call 911 for help, because there's not enough of those guys out there to go to everybody and help them. So have first aid knowledge, make your home safe to keep furniture from falling, and I'll give you some tips on that. But talk to your family about these things. You know, we worry about what we're going to fix for dinner, what to wear tomorrow. We don't talk about emergency kits or what we would do if the ground starts shaking. So start now and talk to your family, okay? All right, if you happen to be at the grocery store, you're walking down the aisle shopping, all of a sudden the floor is doing this and you can barely stand up. To keep that can of tomato soup from hitting you in the head, you can squat down, put your head under the basket. Serious. If you have others with you, all of you, squat down, put your head under the basket. Again, we can't get our whole body underneath. You'll get hit here, here, here by canned goods, bottles, boxes. It'll hurt, but you don't want to get hit in your face, your head. So squat down, put your head under the basket. If your basket isn't full of groceries, merchandise, tilt the basket, shove everything out, put your head inside. If you have babies, small children with you, brace them underneath, put your head inside. That way things are falling and it won't hurt you and the children. If you're carrying one of those hand baskets with the handle, dump those eggs, squat down, put it over your head. Don't worry about those eggs. So yes, this will protect you at the grocery store. Do not panic and run through the store to get out during the shaking. If you see one person run, we all follow. You'll all meet at the same time, kicking, screaming, crying, fighting, trying to get through this crowd of people. The door could be jammed, power's out, and not only that, the big picture window in front of the store could shatter and hurt you. So you don't want to be near that area. Train your brain. If it happens while you're shopping, I hope you're in the tissue aisle at least. Serious. Okay, how many of you shop this store like Bed Bath & Beyond? Stores like that? I love that. Oh, come on, none of you been? Okay, yeah, I love that store. Every time I walk inside that store, I'm doing this. You know, they actually stock utensils, butcher knives, pots and pans, furniture, all the way to the ceiling. So if you happen to be at Bed Bath & Beyond and we're getting hit with this major earthquake, good luck. Serious. That is one place I hope I'm not at. Even their aisles are narrow. So no matter where you are, what you're doing, don't get hurt. Now, if you're driving, and you UDOT folks should know this, but I'm still going to tell you. Anyway, if you're driving and we're having this earthquake, you won't know we're having an earthquake because you're moving. But your car will. Your car will start doing this thing. And first thing you're going to think of is what? Flat tire. Something's wrong with the car. And then you're going to see some unusual sights. I mean, you're focused on the road, other cars, but you're doing this thing and you're seeing trees. So if your car is being yanked around like that, that's a pretty good shaking ground road. And so the trees will do this, and it depends on the shaking. They could uproot right before your eyes. You're doing this. You're seeing things fly off buildings, glass shattering. So when you realize this is an earthquake, quickly look in the rearview mirror and safely pull to the side of the road and stop your vehicle, turn off the engine, stay in your vehicle. You're on tires, you're on shocks, you will be okay. Try to stay away from wires and trees if you can. After the shaking, check the road, make sure there's no downed wires, debris, go ahead and proceed. But I guarantee when Utah, Salt Lake City gets hit with this big one, you may not get very far on this side street, highway, especially the freeway. The freeway will become a parking lot. You know that. Do not, I repeat, do not abandon your vehicle. They ask not to leave your vehicle because you will contribute to blocking the freeway. And who they are? UDOT, Utah Department of Transportation, and the Utah Highway Patrol. Asks not to leave your vehicle, stay with your car, and be patient. Now, side street and highway is a different story. If you're able to pull off the roadway, park your car and start walking home, do it. That's my plan, because the road could be severely damaged, can't go forward, turn around, nothing, or it's just backed up with vehicles. So it depends on your area and your situation. The freeway is a different story. They ask not to leave your car, and they ask not to pull over into the emergency lanes. They want to keep the emergency lane and the hog lanes open for emergency vehicles to go back and forth. That is UDOT Highway Patrol's plan to get these cars moving off the freeway. So be patient. UDOT Highway Patrol will get these cars moving, but it may take hours, hours.
Question. What if you're on a stretch of freeway where 2 bridges collapse and you are literally not going to go anywhere ever until they get those bridges out of the way?
Well, good luck, okay? No,
Likely scenario.
you know, and you know, that is the chance, the gamble that we all have to face, you know, because we've seen our freeways get torn down and rebuilt, and then we hear that they're earthquake-proof. I mean, are they really? Have we had a real big earthquake to know that they're safe? No, we haven't. So, yes, I hope you say yes.
They're designed not to collapse. That's what they're designed for. That doesn't mean they can carry loads or anything. They're designed to not have catastrophic failure.
Mm-hmm. And I hope, and some of them I heard will have a swaying technique with it as the ground's shaking. So hopefully, if you happen to be on an overpass, underpass, that won't happen to you. You know, on, what is that, 13th South Freeway entrance right there, I'm always, it never fails every time, and I hate going that way, but every time I get on the freeway from 13th South, I'm stopped at that light, and I'm always underneath the bridge, and I'm like, change. I just have this fear, so I know where you're coming from. So just hope the light changes fast and you're out of there. But that's why I say it depends on where you are and what your situation is. So I just wish all of you the best, that you're not in a terrible, terrible situation when this big one. And you know, you've heard this for years and years, and you think, the big one's not going to happen. It will.
So maybe talk about the backpack in the car.
Right, I will. Right now we're doing the car, finishing the car. Okay, so that's why it is important to have an emergency kit in your vehicle. So, okay, how many of you, it is important to have an emergency kit in your vehicle. So how many of you have a box of tissues in your car right now? Very few, very few. Good, keep it up. How many of you have an umbrella in your vehicle? Good. These items are good to have in your vehicle. There's also 4 other items you should have in your vehicle, and you know I'm going to talk about flashlight. I suggest 2. What if that only flashlight you have in your vehicle, darn it, I forgot to update the battery. Well, here you have a backup. There's battery-operated flashlights. There's the crank. The more you crank the flashlight, the longer the light will stay lit. And a lot of your crank flashlight has a radio also. And some of them, they have them where you can plug in your cell phones and crank it up if your car died on you. So have 2 per vehicle. So every Christmas, I give my family, children, grandkids, something to add to their emergency kit. So one year I gave 2 per vehicle in the household, 1 for each room. So start a new tradition and give something to add to your emergency kits. And living in Utah, it would be nice to have a shovel in your vehicle. Your folding shovels are nice because they don't take that much room. You can purchase these everywhere. Emergency stores, sports stores, Army, Navy stores, Kmart, Walmart, Shopko's in the camping section. Tighten the handle, dig your way out of snow, mud, dirt, sand. You can dig this way. And if you're stranded and you need to make a fire, there's rough edges, chop twigs up to start a fire. So one year, everybody received a shovel. You know, my kids will not go out and buy things to put in their kits. Would your daughter, your son, buy a shovel and put it in their kit, their car? Probably not. So that's why I do this. It's peace of mind. I know they have these things in their vehicle, okay? So start a new tradition. You can have blankets in your vehicle, wool blanket. Raise your hand. You're going to receive an emergency Mylar blanket. This looks like tin foil, but it's stronger than tin foil. It will work, it will keep you warm. So what's being passed out is this big. And because Joaquin said those little blankets, look, Joaquin, this is, look how big. Yeah. Anyway, you can wrap yourself up inside this during the coldest windy day, and you will start sweating because your body heat stays in this Mylar material. You can use it if you're stranded as reflection for help. And the fourth item I have in my vehicle is water. I have 2 cases of bottled water underneath the floor of my van. You need to keep an eye on your vehicle water. During the winter, there's not enough freeze expansion room to allow the water to expand. It'll end up splitting the plastic. During the extreme summer heat, if the water is hot for a long period of time, because our vehicles get hot, it'll create bacteria and the water's not safe to drink. So what I've done to protect my water in the vehicle, I put 1 case in the middle part of the emergency blanket, wrapped it like a present, and put it underneath the floor. During the 2-3 extreme summer months, on a weekend, I will open up the floor door, unwrap the water, fill it. If it's warmer than lukewarm, yes, take that water out, put it in the house, put some in the refrigerator, drink it, and then put a new case. So during the summer, I rotate my water in the vehicle a lot because I travel all over the state, and if I'm ever stranded, I have fresh water with me. So keep an eye on your vehicle water. Check the expiration date. 1, 2, up to 3 years shelf life. So have stored emergency water at home. Because if you turn on the faucet after a major earthquake, it's running, it's clear, looks okay, but it may not be safe to drink. So of course you can boil it, purify it, filterize it, read your information. It will help you bring your water back to life. So have good water at home and in your vehicle. All right. I'm going to talk about another item before I forget. Whistles. And did you give everybody a whistle? We'll keep him, he's sweating. So let me have one and show them what they...
We're still on blankets.
You're still on blankets? Okay, the whistles, it also has a... Oh, and I had to pick one that the light doesn't work. Good. So anyway, whistles. Ladies, put a whistle in your purse. Gentlemen, on your key ring. Children's school backpacks, stranger danger. Wheelchairs, walkers should have a whistle attached to their mobile. If you go walking, jogging, ride your bike, wear a whistle. Intruders, we hear about intruders as you're exercising, so scare them off. If you go camping, picnic, to the park, have whistles on you, okay? So whistles, something this small can make a big difference. All right, in your packet, you are receiving the disaster supply kit. We are not going to call it 72-hour kit anymore. Disaster supply kit, that's the new name. And on the very back are things, a list of things that you may have in your vehicle already. Check mark and see what you can add to your vehicle right here. Okay, so here it is for you. All right, any questions so far? What did he say? Oh, okay, now this disaster supply kit, that's what you're looking at on the boards. Every member of the household should have their own emergency kit because we're all different. So this list will give you the basics to put in your kits and then put your personal needs. Like children, they should put entertainment things in their emergency kit. Adults, if they wear dentures, put denture supplies in their kit. I even have nail glue in my kit. If I break a nail, that's a disaster to me. Serious. So, you know what this is all about? If you receive a knock at the door, your family need to leave home because of fire, and it's happened many times. Your kit, your children, and your pet is ready to grab and go. So have your kits pre-made, ready to go. So this is my plan. If I receive a knock at the door, I need to leave home. First thing I'm going to grab, ladies, is my purse. Then I'm going to go to the medicine cabinet and grab my medication. I'm going to go to my pantry and grab a couple of these bags. How many of you seen these before? Yes, I used to, now you'll hear me mention store names and prices. I am not promoting stores. I just want you to know where the bargains are. So I used to purchase these bags at Walmart, but I discovered the Dollar Tree has these bags for $1. So for Christmas, I gave 4 bags per household to my kids, and I told them to hang them in their pantry up high or in their closet, because this is part of your evacuation plan. So if you get that knock, I'm going to grab these, go to the refrigerator, put the milk, the juice, bologna, cheese, throw some ice in here, and then another bag, put the bread, cookies, crackers, and take food with me. They're not going to kick you out on the street. They'll have you go to a school, a church, American Red Cross, shelter in place. If you have a camper, RV, trailer, that's even better. So you get to take your pets with you, and but you cannot take your pets to the shelters. So read your information, it will remind you. So have some of these on hand. Authorities are not going to stand at the door and wait for you to put a kit together. They're not going to stand there and wait for you to look for your cooler, clean your cooler, I know you, and and now you'll say, I don't have a cooler, and what to put in your cooler. So here you just have these simple bags to throw in food, because you know what? When you go walking, jogging, ride your bike, swimming, you know, you burned a lot of energy, and then you're hungry. and so you snack. Same thing if you're upset. You burned energy. So you want to take food and have it there with you right now till other food becomes available. So this is good to have. So $1 at the Dollar Tree. So that works for me. Do not store, how much time do I have? Okay. Do not store any of your kits in the basement of your home. Store on the main level, garage, camper, RV, trailer. And rotate your items inside every 6 months, and your information will remind you. Also, have a kit for your pets. Don't leave them behind. Take them with you. And you may be able to stay with a friend or relative because you can't take your pets to the shelter. All right. Then here's the list. Make it fun. Give your family, your spouse, children, a plastic grocery bag and give them 15 minutes to go through the junk drawer, the garage, basement, their bedroom, and look for things that you can put in your emergency kit. After 15 minutes, lay out all your items that you found throughout the house and have the kids tell you why they have a pair of socks in their bag, you know, so make it fun and talk to the children why it's important to be prepared. And then on the back is porta potty, and that's what you see over here. Do you recognize the bucket? Anybody? Home Depot? Yeah. Home Depot's let's do this by creating it. Let's do this by using it. So I do not have a camper RV trailer. So after a major earthquake, the water system will go down. We can't shower, brush our teeth, drinking water, and we can't use the house toilet. So this is my backup. Not this one, it's a display. So anyway, it's simple. I made 12 of these for Christmas one year. I brought them all up from the basement, lined them up like soldiers in the living room, put the lid up, and I had the camcorder on everybody, and they're like, what are those? And so I explained to them why this is important, and especially our senior residential places where buildings they live in, the water's down, they should have 1 or 2 on each floor of their building because this is important. Okay, the secret to the porta potty, you can see right here, is kitty litter. Seriously, what you do is take everything out of the bucket, line the bucket with the plastic, just like you see here. Sprinkle a little bit of kitty litter, not the whole bottle, just a little bit. After 2, 3 usage, take the old bag out of the bucket, tighten a knot, throw it in the garbage, start all over. Kitty litter hardens, absorbs the droppings, and keeps it from smelling. And the reason why I put it in a liter bottle, because, in fact, this bag cost $1 kitty litter at the Dollar Tree. So this is too big to put inside the bucket. So you can fit 3 or 4 of these in the bucket. And it's tall, narrow, and it's easier to handle. Okay, and wipes. Have wipes, because there's no water, to keep your hands clean, wipes to keep this clean. And with the wipes, I've taken them out of the container and put them in a baggie to keep them moist so they don't dry out on you, okay? All right, and look what else I've done. I added a light on mine. And there's no power, so you can see what you're doing. And there's another reason why I put a light to this, so the guys don't miss. Serious, sorry. What this is, it's an under-the-counter closet light that you can get at any stores where the light bulbs are. And I just put Velcro on the back and stuck it on the lid. So be creative and give everybody for Christmas a porta potty. And here's the contents right here. Okay? All right. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
What about aftershocks? How long
Ye-
do you wait to start driving or leave the building?
Okay, aftershocks, that's another gamble. It could happen minutes after the original shaking, hours, the next day, or you can even, we used to hear that we'd have one, but there's multiple aftershocks. So you will have time to go through your home or your place of business, check on things, make sure there's no broken glass. If there is, have, especially during the winter, plastic or boards pre-cut so you can stick them in your windows, because of dead winter, your glass is all broke. You can't just call the glass people to come and replace your glass. So there's always something that you should be prepared for, and it just keeps going and going and going. So be ready. Yeah, just be ready for that big one. So that is why we have the initial earthquake shaking, which could be a 7.5 and greater, and aftershocks. And this is why you're receiving this piece of paper with your house on it. And as you read this, you'll know what I'm talking about. Number one homework for every household in the state of Utah: make sure your water heater is secured with the heavy metal strap. And you can purchase that kit at your hardware stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, hardware stores, and secure yourself. I did mine. If I can do it, you can do it. So that is number one homework for every household in the state of Utah. And then as you read this, you'll know what I'm talking about with L-shaped brackets to secure furniture to the wall to keep from falling. And you can paint the bracket so the same color as the wall so it doesn't show. Do your wall units, bookshelves, food storage shelves, the shelves out in the garage, children's toy shelves, anything that will, china cabinets will fall over. So L-shaped brackets, and there's different types of straps out there for furniture also. And that's what this is. It's a Velcro, heavy-duty Velcro that will stick on the top of your furniture, and then this part you put in the studs. Find the studs and secure to the wall so things do not fall and hurt. And you can purchase these things at your hardware store. Those of you with freestanding flat screen TVs, there's also the straps to secure those flat screen. I have one mounted on the wall and two freestanding, and that's going to be the first thing to fall when we have shaking. So I purchased the strap. This one I purchased at Lowe's, and it's the Quake Hold brand. This one at Walmart, it's the Quake Hold brand, and this one cost more than this one. They both have the same hardware to secure your flat screen TV, but this one cost more because it's in a pretty box. And this is what Walmart looks like. So you'll find it where all the TVs and the wall mounts are at the store. So go through your home and do things. Read this list and check mark. Go in each room and make sure things don't fall. If you have like rubber grip liner, I have pottery up high. So rather than using the rubber grip, because rubber grip does not guarantee things won't fall, rubber grip guarantees things won't slide and fall. So you can put this underneath your TV, stereo, microwave, computers, and so this is good for that. But I purchased Quake Hold Gel or Putty. And I put a dab under my pottery, pressed it and twist it to get the air out of it. And then I would dust around these things. And then if I want to move it, just twist it, lift it up, clean it with alcohol, do something else. So you can get these at your local hardware store. Okay, so rubber grip is good for a lot of things. You can get them pre-cut, round, square, put your lamps, plants, knickknacks, pottery underneath, this underneath. Okay, so there's so many things what you can do throughout your home to make it safe. Your food storage shelves, your cleaning goods, your paints, and things out in the garage, put bungee cords, rope, whatever, to keep things from falling off the shelf. So you can't do all this in one weekend. It takes time, so start. Read your information, check mark as you go, and then do these things. Make your home safe. And you know what? I did a lot of things with my home because of this earthquake. And in fact, I'm waiting for this earthquake to see if everything will stay put. I will have a few broken things, but by doing these things, it's peace of mind. And because your homeowner's insurance alone will not cover your certain pieces of furniture unless you have it insured. And it costs more when you insure every piece of furniture in your house. So they won't cover my flat screen TV, so by darn, I strap them down. And same with your office. If you have a plant up high, put something underneath or use the putty to keep that plant up there, okay? So there's so many things what you can do. All right, to keep your kits from going rotten, by the way, this was a real banana. You want to touch it? No? A coworker found this in one of the state vehicles, not mine, and he put it on my desk. They should have had a camera because when I walked in, I didn't know what this thing was. So I had a ruler right there and I grabbed it because I didn't know if it was going to move. And gosh, so yeah, that's a banana. And so to keep your kits from going rotten, you keep a calendar. You keep track of paydays, what bills to pay, holidays, birthday. Mark a date, take all the batteries out of your kits, use them in the house. The batteries in the house, you put them in your kit. So rotate those batteries back and forth because they're being used until you know they're getting low, then replace it. And then let your children's emergency backpack grow with them. So keep track, water storage, drink your water, eat your food, but just have a good storage because after a major earthquake, you may not be able to go down to the store and buy water and things like that. Bread, because the store's demolished or everything's wiped out. And we've seen this happen on the news back east, foreign countries, everything's just crazy. So have a good food storage, water storage on hand. Have some first aid knowledge because you can't just call 911 for help, and be more prepared than you think you are. Any questions? I asked you earlier if you had a Band-Aid in your purse or wallet. A gentleman approached me after a presentation. He goes, you know, Marilyn, I wished I had a Band-Aid in my wallet at work. I cut my hand wide open. It was bleeding all over. I needed 2 Band-Aids to butterfly it closed till I could get to first aid. And what he had with him was duct tape in his truck. And it did. It stopped. Duct tape is good. It stopped the bleeding. But when it was time to off his owie, he did not say happy words. So let a Band-Aid be a reminder. Everything you purchase at the store has an expiration date. Band-Aids get old, first aid ointments, shampoos, lotions, toothpaste, food, water, everything gets old. So now a few of you can have Band-Aids in your purse or wallet. Thanks, everybody. Good luck in preparing, and be ready, Utah. Thank you. All right.